Now that we're feudal, conquering the remaining lands of the future Albion is going to be a touch more challenging, to say the very least. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Crusader Kings III in our Empire of Albion series. So much more challenging, in fact. Well, it's not really going to be challenging. It's just going to be more like step by step. I'm going to go ahead and give Donald his due. He waited so long to rule this kingdom, and I'm not even checking off that box on the thumbnail, and it's just kind of rude. It's kind of an arbitrary thing because it's not related to gameplay content, but I've had those checkboxes as kind of a thing that I'm experimenting with, and I mentioned earlier in the series that I wasn't going to check it off yet because we weren't Scottish culture. But apparently Scottish culture doesn't really pop for another 100 years and change, like 140 years, roughly. At least that's what a couple of the answers that I've seen, including on the channel, but also in my own kind of investigation, have pointed to. So I'm going to just go ahead and say we rule the Kingdom of Scotland. I mean, just looking at the map here, would you disagree? And any dissent? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No one? Okay, cool. Another thing that is kind of irking me a little bit, I actually restarted this recording a moment ago after a few minutes because I thought I had made a mistake, but I hadn't. I just want to note something real quick. Where is he? Half-brother, 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 half-brother. Constantine. Young Constantine. Constantine II. Apparently, I was not able to forbid him from fighting, because I have forbidden him from fighting, before he got severely injured. So he currently has a severe health penalty, and he might die shortly. And I say that because he did. In a previous version of this recording a few minutes ago. And I thought, I just cut it off immediately. I was like, okay, I clearly let someone slip through my net of like preventing relatives and important characters from fighting. But no, I just was too late. So that could be sad if we lose him. And chances are that we will. But let's go ahead and continue pressing forward. All right, so looks like Count Echito paid 50 gold. Oh, you know what else I can do? You know what else I can do? We have in prison Duchess Selblaith. We could ransom her, and she'd pay 50 gold. And I mean, that's something we could do, I suppose. But she did try. She was scheming to murder my daughter. We could torture her. We'd gain 73 stress because we're compassionate. So it's not really within Donald's character to torture her. So we could execute her. This would gain some dread. It would help us kind of have a little bit of, as we talked about before, when dread is higher, people are more likely to kind of fall in line. It would still be stressful, but at least we wouldn't have to deal with her anymore. Yep. Off with her head. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You tried to murder my daughter. Should have thought about that. Alliance expired. Duke Lonan. Let's just stay on speed 5 for a moment and see what we can do. Your prince can marry. Oh yeah, that's right, because we just murdered his wife. Alright, cool. Let's see. Alliance power. This could be useful. Kingdom of Aquitaine. Really? We aren't... Hang on, who we allied with right now? Yeah, we don't have an alliance with Aquitaine. However, Orengard is our niece. because her mother is our half-sister. Half-sister only, because this is one of Ermentrude's kids. And remember, Donald was not a child of Ermentrude's, thank God. But this is the first time this has happened in the series. So it's like, how badly do we want that alliance with Aquitaine? That's 5,000 men, potentially, that could show up to help fight. Princess Plaisance. I mean, this would not involve incest. Kingdom of West Francia. Potential incest. It's a half-sibling. It might not necessarily result in the negative trait, the way the game's mechanics work. But she is technically our niece. Welcome to Crusader Kings III. Ludric Castellid. I like the idea of bringing... You know what? Yeah. If we're talking about someone that we're going to bring into the fold, let's have inheritable traits only, but still sort by alliance power. Now, with that in mind... Yeah, Ludric Castellid of Salamanca. Berjana. I don't know. Like, those are pretty weak alliances relative to the ones that didn't have traits. And since we're early in Donald's tenure, I kind of want to lock down strong alliances. I mean, it's a half-niece. But then there's the Kingdom of West Francia, which is 4,000 troops. Same age. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. It's not necessary to cross that line just yet. It's one of the really... obviously, it's amusing because it's so freaking uncomfortable. You have to have a laugh about it in the gameplay context. But it's one of the really interesting positions that the game can put you in once you have a larger empire that you're trying to maintain control of. It's like, to what extent are you willing to cross that line when certain marriages are necessary in order to maintain power? And you can never see those events coming until you pretty much have no choice. So it's fascinating, which is not without its historical contexts, of course. I've prowled through the documents, both ancient and of less certain provenance. I have enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of the lordship of Ceredigion, and all that's missing is one little bribe. No, I cannot. Let's see if we can get this. Peter is an awesome archbishop. There's a good chance that he will get a claim on the entire duchy. So let's try to give him a chance to do that. Nice. Greetings, my perceptive liege. I have arrived in Edinburgh to pay homage to you, glorious king, as a show of my loyalty. So let's show her in. And she kneels in deference, offering nothing but her oath to faithfully serve as a vassal of the kingdom. Though the countess has clearly practiced the Goidelic vow, she mispronounces several sections, humorously changing their meaning and leaving my quarters stifling titters. Let's say good effort is not an easy language. She's going to lose some prestige. We're going to gain some renown and court grandeur and prestige. I'll take that. How long is this truce? Until 919. So about 6 more years before we can declare war on Ireland. We don't have any claims that allow us to take the entire remaining thing. We do have a character we can ransom, which is nice. I think that character's been ransomable for a while. Question is, when will I next be able to request gold? Oh, wow. That is a lot sooner than I thought. Wait, do I have the Kingdom of England? Does Donald control... What? I'm confused. Hold on. When did this happen? You know what? I think I know when it happened. I think this happened due to Confederate partition. And we got lucky, so it created the kingdom automatically because we controlled most of it. By the way, there's been some de jure drift. I mentioned this much earlier in the series. England should be everything here, if memory serves correctly. We looked at the kingdom map early on, but because Wessex has sort of controlled so much territory for so long, they now are their own de jure kingdom in southern future Albion. That's interesting, isn't it? But it looks like Confederate partition created the Kingdom of England. That is something that can happen very often. For those of you wondering why have I been going on about the Confederate partition law, what the heck does that mean? So, upon succession, all titles held by the late ruler will be divided among their eligible children, with the player heir always being given the primary title, realm capital, and any direct de jure titles associated with it. Here's the kicker. Younger children will be given enough titles starting with those of the same rank as the primary titles. If none are available, they will be given lower ranking titles. Your player heir cannot be preemptively granted titles they do not yet stand to inherit. Sorry, this is the kicker. Younger children will have titles created for them if enough land is held. So Donald had the kingdom created for him. Now, when Donald dies, if I don't have the empire locked down, which the empire is the single overarching title over all of those, the Kingdom of Scotland will split in twain between the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland. Everything you see here will become a different color. And the same would be true if I also were to select the Kingdom of Ireland. I don't currently control it, and once I've taken it, I don't have to control it. I could destroy the title. I wouldn't even have to do that necessarily, as long as I didn't usurp it. But it looks like the Kingdom of England got created automatically. So we do need to create the Duchy of Mercia. We talked about that. It's going to take 250 gold to create that thing. We will, however, be able to get some gold from the Pope soon. So let's go ahead and let the game continue. Pope Marinus is not swayed. Someone is plotting to kill my Archbishop Peter. That's not good, because we need him to get his work done. Oh, also, let's go ahead and build up control in Ormond. That could be helpful. Recently conquered Ormond. We could also build up control there, but development is slightly higher down here. I checked in between episodes. Very interesting indeed. Shadow of Fame, Dawn. My father, the great King Constantine, died of old age a long time ago. Yet the flame of his life still shines bright. What surrounded him everywhere now seems to follow me. Many still consider me his son rather than a man in my own right. Just yesterday, an old peasant was praising him as if he was still alive. The time has come to step out of his shadow, to make my mark on the world, to be recognized as the great King Donald. So now we're going to gain additional monthly prestige. We've lost the Twilight, which we got 2 episodes ago. So it looks like an even better boost to monthly prestige gain, but also stress gain gets worse. The world shall remember Constantine as my father. Wow. Donald is ready. Okay, he is ready indeed. There's nothing else that I can do monetarily, although I think your Councillor Haston died. That's unfortunate. Oh, he was a good marshal too. That sucks. Regenwild, perfect. Remember this knight? He got wounded. Now we can have him as a marshal, and he's an awesome marshal, so we'll take that. We will take it. Excuse me, Your Holiness. Can you send me some gold yet? Oh, in 5 days. Okay. Ask for gold. We'll accept. He's going to pay 216 gold to me, so we will be able to create the duchy we need to, and this will help with income. Also, our natural income seems to have improved, which is nice. Praise St. Matthew, here comes the tax refund. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. We're going to create the Duchy of Mercia. Now, actually, let's look at this for a second. That's 3 counties. Yeah, Mercia has the most vassals within it. I think this is going to significantly improve my income by creating it, because all of those vassals, all those counties are saying, like when you see, where you see the individual flags there, that's 5 separate vassals broken up into the Duchy of Mercia that are not paying me their full taxes because I'm not their rightful liege. So let's go ahead and create the Duchy of Mercia. We're going to gain some prestige. It's going to cost us some gold. And now, as a consequence of that, we should see an improvement in gold income. Although we might not see too much right away. So now if we look at those characters... Oh, too many duchies. Hold on. So we might need to... Let's see, we have the Petty Kingdom of Moray and Albany. No, Mercia needs to be given to someone else. So let's pick someone. Constantine's still alive. He's severely injured. Northamptonshire. We need to give this to a worthy character. I mean, Constantine might be the one, to be honest. Yeah, let's do that. Let's grant him the title, the Petty Kingdom of Mercia. There we go. And hopefully what he'll be able to do with that as a duke is maybe have a little bit more of an ability to like hire a good court physician that can carry him through his wounds. As long as he lives and is no longer severely injured, that would be ideal. Okay, so honestly, income went down a little bit, but I think it's because we have some infighting going on. You can see that happening in Annandale and down here. Once Crown Authority is able to be lifted, we actually don't have the correct innovations at the moment. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, King Alfred is the current culture leader, which is very annoying, but we are working on plenary assemblies, which means these will be done, it's going to be discovered in about 15 years. I wish I was the frickin' culture leader. Life would be a lot easier right now if I was. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Life would be simpler. All right, so let's look at duchies for a second. I want to claim the Duchy of Leinster if I can. We're trying to claim down here. Maybe I should go for all of Ireland first. I don't know. Prince Constantine has a claim on the lordship of Gwent. And you have a claim on the earldom of Bedford. Don't love that. We don't have a Casus Belli on him, and we don't have a Casus Belli on Gwynedd. Apart from the Casus Bellis that belong to other characters. So right now we're trying to claim this entire duchy. Let's take another look at this. Yeah, so if this were to go through, everything here that is listed as part of Gwynedd would become mine, which is kind of ideal. So we're going to keep the bishop there for now and go for those Casus Bellis. Hopefully, as we take additional counties one at a time, I honestly didn't realize, live and learn, but as we take additional counties one at a time, we will be able to declare the empire sooner and sooner, and then declaring war would be much easier because we'll have an imperial claim over this territory. But I didn't realize that switching to feudalism would take away some of the... I should have realized it too. Like the ability to just declare war and fight the way that I've been doing up to this point. To the historical King Donald, you should have something that should legitimately belong to me, or you have something that should legitimately belong to me, relinquish it at once. So, what does he want? The Irish tapestry? He would gain 30 opinion of me. I'm gonna say no. Sorry, you don't get to make demands. That's not... Alright, so she has a claim on the county of Stendal. Poet Marinus has been swayed. Now, one thing we could do here, one thing that's quite possible that we could do here is we could request titles from the Pope. So, for example, we could say that we want to request a claim, well, not on the Kingdom of Wessex, but if we wanted to request a claim on Gwynedd. Now, this particular offer, because the Pope apparently is a virtuous, or not the Pope, the Prince, Edred, has virtuous traits, we have to have the Pope's opinion very high. What if we went with the Principality of Powys? Okay, no. So that may or may not work. We're going to keep bringing the Pope's opinion up, though, because we want that to stay high. A Snaked Court. I'm heading from my chambers to enjoy some blessed sleep when I hear a faint rustle from a window, just the wind, I think, until the wind starts to speak. Come and open up, my sweetness. It is I, Gamal. I push the shutters open, and lo and behold, a man has climbed up to Cummin's window. It is Reeve Gamal of Clifford. What did you just call my daughter, you debaucher? Okay. So, aren't you betrothed? You are, to a 6-year-old. That's unfortunate. All right. She's an evil paragon. I mean, Can anyone blame her? Alright, so we can ransom this character. I might have the ability before too long to create another duchy. And continue to improve my income. Let's go ahead and ransom that character off. Ransom accepted, yep. How long until I can ask for gold again? 9th of March, 917. Learning perk available. Nice. So let's go with pedagogy. Looks like we can finally... You know, we could make this a grand wedding, but it would be very expensive. So remember the reason we chose Ben Lygan. She's not... Now that she's of age, she's not really that impressive of a character, unfortunately, but she's quick. So any kids that we have with Ben Lygan, they'll potentially be sharper than the rest of the lot. And we can continue to bring that into the dynasty generation over generation to the extent that we continue this particular series anyway. It's been a good introduction to CK3 for the channel, by the way. Schedule's still been a little bit hectic, but that's not really to do with the series. That's more just to do with me getting a bunch of hardware and non-channel related stuff taken care of over the last month. So, tell you what, let's go ahead and, first of all, we want to demand conversion. Well, we can't just yet. We have the befriend option. We're currently trying to sway Pope Marinus. What if we used romance? Oh, wow. 100% chance. Okay, well, let's do that then. The time has come to let my feelings toward Queen Ben Lygan be known. I wanted to remember this day for the rest of her life, so we could sing a love ballad. Well, he is a poet. He is a poet. So, let's write a love poem. While I cannot encourage you, my liege, I am most grateful for your kind words. Yours faithfully, Ben Lygan. She won't resist my charms for long. Let's try and give Donald, not only with his marriage, but just with the events of his life and the ability to shape some of these negative traits that he's picked up. Let's try and give him a good end to his life, because the first part of it was defined by waiting. A courtier between friends. My son-in-law, Mormere Ficne, has honored me with a visit and has brought one of his courtiers along. Ficne approached me excitedly. Well met, King Donald. It pleases me to see you thriving here in Lothian. It occurred to me that Kuken here might be of service in your court. How's that? He's 79 and an irrational zealot. He's an incredibly talented scholar, I guess. The brightest I've ever learned from. I would make use of him myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. I would hate to see his great talent go to waste. Won't you take him in and unleash his potential? So we could say, I know just the place for him, gain some prestige. Or we could politely decline and gain some prestige that way. I'm not really worried about this dude. This could create a rivalry if I say this. But maybe, hang on. Let's say I know just the place for him. And let's see, maybe one of these positions. Oh no, not fire. Yeah, so his aptitude is good for the antiquarian, but we already have a good antiquarian. All right, Starkather could be replaced by Patrick, if you will. Let's go ahead and appoint. Yeah, Starkather's not going to love that. He's been the caravan master. No, let's not do that to Starkather. He's been such an awesome character for such a good while. All right, so this wet nurse is average, but we could bring in, actually, same character. Patrick. He's excellent. Oh wait, no, that's still for the caravan master. Wet nurse. That makes more sense. I clicked the character portrait, not the actual replace button. Okay. Master of Horse. Yeah, Starkather is in both of those positions. All right, the High Almoner. Good aptitude. Seneschal has good aptitude. Keeper of the Swans. Okay, well maybe there's another position. I don't really see one, though. What about Royal Architect? Sheriff Sterlo would be excellent. Gormal would be excellent. And this would make buildings finish faster. You know what? Let's leave it alone for now. I don't think... We didn't lose anything by taking him on. Outliving a child. Oh no! What happened? Oh. Oh God, how could you do this to a Frake? If I have sinned, why did you not punish me instead? She was blameless, my perfect daughter. Life had so much more in store for her. Well, right after I was saying that the events of Donald's life could be better for like the next 20 years. Wasn't that his firstborn daughter? No. Fifth child, but still. But still, she did not deserve this. Well, that's sad. Died in childbirth, if you missed that, by the way. For those of you who were looking away or otherwise engaged while I had that tilted up. Romance, A Lady's Honor, by Odin. Queen Ben Lygan is an insufferable hag. Have you seen how she tilts her head back and forth? Ridiculous. My vassal Earl Siegfroth throws his head back with a wicked laugh. Ben Lygan is still conversing with her friends, but I can tell she's hurt him. I hate to see her hurt. So we could go ahead and say draw your sword. There's a 63% chance that we best him in a duel. Or we could be wounded here. Or we could say we should apologize, or you should apologize to the lady. Or we could just say he couldn't be more wrong. I would gain prestige. There is a more than 1/3% chance that it might not work out. Vile lies, draw your sword. Nice. Oh, how I will enjoy wiping that arrogant look off his face. When I am done with him, Earl Siegfroth's humiliation is absolute. Bruised and blushing, he croaks out an apology and limps away to lick his wounds. You are a true hero, King Donald. You have my eternal gratitude. It was my honor, Lady Ben Lygan. Well, that worked out. That worked out indeed. All right, we still need to gain a lot more income. We need 250 to make another duchy. Faction created against me. Gaelic Catholic populists. Unfortunate. Still trying. We have 9 months left before we have another shot at claiming that duchy. Constantine comes of age. With his coming of age, my tuition of Constantine is at an end. Always the curious and knowledgeable hungry child, Constantine has shown an affinity for scholarship from an early age. An avid learner, he has become quite the purveyor of knowledge and has proven himself fully capable of structuring advanced theoretical and theological arguments. Duchess Ermenberg's contributions towards Constantine's education cannot go unmentioned. Her guidance has helped the child reach further than I could have alone. They grew up fast. So let's go ahead and arrange a marriage. Your niece. Yes, we know. She's available. What if we went with something different? There's a 42-year-old princess. What happened to... Oh. That's what happened. Okay, I'm not going to be marrying you. Still mostly kids, so they'd be betrothals until the kid came of age. If we go by alliance strength, East Franconia. Not ideal in terms of distance. Brunhild Carling. But that's a good number of troops in a fight. So let's go ahead and send that proposal for that particular marriage. Your son Constantine will be betrothed to my daughter Brunhild. So let's take a moment and see if there are any other kids that need to be raised. So we could influence the ward's personality and make him compassionate because we're compassionate. Or we could go for ambitious. No, let's decline it. I'm not going to worry about that for now. So we're raising everyone that we can. Everyone else is of age. Until this current romance scheme comes to fruition, because it's going pretty well so far. Speaking of that, as my Rose and I walk through the Lothian gardens, I gesture at the greenery around us. For all their beauty, there isn't a single flower which rivals your own, my lady. There is one, she says with a mischievous smile, a rare orchid from Hungary, which is nearly impossible to cultivate. The monastery of Ruin in Peterborough is the only place where it thrives in these regions. Surely I can find a merchant willing to sell me one, or we can say, surely they must pale compared to your fair visage. And we can say that because we are we're diplomatic. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Because the other option would have resulted in stress gain, unfortunately. Now, also unfortunately, we are pretty stressed out at the moment. I don't have a means. I mean, I could indulge in food. Donating to charity would also cost me some money. But all of these things, oh wow, indulge in drink. Now, let's hold off on that. So Donald could get stressed here. This is going to be, I don't know, this is going to be tough. The throne will be hard to hold on to because of his stress levels. If something happens and he dies earlier than he should, this kingdom could get split up. Court grandeur level decreased. Yes, I know. Unpleasant pleasantries. I am attending a dance in Lothian to spend some time with Queen Binlagan. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump, but when I arrive, I find her stuck in a conversation with my vassal, Duke Ukid. The brash man drones on and on, totally oblivious to Binlagan's discomfort. So we could distract him, or we could charm him. So this will gain kindness. My charms improve any conversation. Marshal impresses vassal. A friend in need. As I'm paying a visit to my friend Chieftain Kellican, I notice that things are quite different from the last time I was here in Logharman. He used to set out refined hippocras and saffron cakes for us whenever I came over, but today there's barely a crumb to be seen anywhere, and water is all that graces the table. I ask Kellican if he has fallen on hard times. Downcast, he solemnly responds, "You don't know the half of it." I should help where I can, so this will spend some gold, we'll lose some stress, and we'll gain a hook on this particular character. Or we could spend a lot of gold, lose a lot of stress, and he'll lose some stress as well. I'm going to do this for the stress loss. This hook and 10 stress is nothing compared to the almost 40 stress lost from a Night of Merrymaking. So I hate to pull the alcohol lever with Donald, but that is one of the traits that he has fallen into. Successor. Knights of Edinburgh. So it looks like we have a new character in place there, interestingly enough. So we're not quite, this episode, going to be able to create another duchy, but the income situation is improving, I would say. We can't quite declare war on this character yet. I think, yeah, it's going to be another 4 years before we can declare on the Kingdom of Ireland. We don't have any casus bellis whatsoever. Although one thing we could do, we haven't done this for a while. Let's go ahead and invite claimants. And let's see if maybe someone shows up with a claim. Oh, Adelaide is no longer our antiquarian. That is unfortunate. We need to hire a new one. And that's kind of perfect, because now the character that we brought in earlier will be a good antiquarian. He's pretty old, so he won't be a good antiquarian for long. But the Accolade lost a rank with that new leader, by the way. The Knights of Edinburgh. That's unfortunate. Prince Ectothorn Donaldson of Scotland is now your new player heir. Every time I close my eyes, I see Queen Binlagan's face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloaked in shadows, I make my way to the garden outside her living quarters. That's a creepy sentence. The sight of Binlagan's chamber window makes my heart stutter, so close and yet so far. But wait, who is that climbing up the tower? The shady figure stops by Binlagan's window and unlatches the shutters. My beauty is in danger. I must save her. Or we could say, guards, guards. There's an intruder in the tower. Or we could say, I did not come here to wrestle a burglar. I go ahead with my attempt to romance Queen Binlagan. I will never let you get into harm's way again. So that worked out. In more ways than one. And we get some prestige for that too. So we found Soulmate, which is very, very useful. I've arrived in Edinburgh to pay homage to you, glorious king, as a show of my loyalty. Useful because, as we know from how this entire series has gone so far. And it is kind of what I invited with the selection of a lustful wife for the beginning of the game. A faithful marriage has not really been a part of this series so far. So Queen Bin Laden being a soulmate, I think, is useful, just not only because it's going to secure the family line through Donald in some ways, but also just because it's a nice change of narrative pace. I bring you rich gifts worthy of your majesty as a token of my goodwill and servitude. Nice. So Duke Lonan brought 50 gold in tribute. He's taking the knee, and we're going to gain some prestige as well, and court grandeur, and renown for the dynasty too. Court grandeur went back up to 8. Not bad. All right, so we're at 129 gold. I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, we are very likely to be able to create another duchy, which will improve income even more. And hopefully, how close are we? Yeah, we're 3 months away from maybe this particular event firing. So to be clear about what we're doing here, we're trying to get a claim through the Archbishop on the entire Duchy of Gwynedd. Now, what we'll actually get a claim on is this. I don't think we'll actually get Poes, because de jure Gwynedd is just this. But it might actually be on all of the held dukes' territory. We'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know if those rules work exactly the same as I remember, but Casus Bellis are going to be the name of the game going forward, kind of one at a time, and I'm kind of rotating because I have such a high quality Archbishop. There's a chance, as you can see here, a possible side effect is a claim on the entire duchy. Right now we have him just trying to claim this capital or this particular section of the territory, but if he claims the entire duchy, we can conquer the whole thing at once. So that's kind of the gamble that I'm taking. If he continues to fail at it, I might switch tactics, but the thing is, he has 19 learning, which is excellent by the game standards. So I wonder if it goes higher than excellent at any point. I don't think it does. But because he has an excellent contribution, an excellent learning stat for his particular position, because Archbishop positions are based on learning. As a result of that, there's a pretty good chance he'll get a claim on the entire duchy. And if that happens, we're just going to take it. And then continue to do something similar to that for taking the remainder of the not that many counties that we need to control. How many is it exactly? Only 21 more that we need to conquer. Counties, not duchies, counties. And we will be able to declare ourselves Emperor of Albion. Stay tuned. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to follow along. For channel emotes and member badges, look for the join button to learn more. New episodes drop every day but Tuesday at 11 a.m. US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.